What's going on, everybody? Gary B. Jr., your media consultant here. And today we're going to talk about how to make a custom mask for your OBS output so that you could have something that looks like this. Now, this is important for you if you want to use different scenes in OBS to have your camera feed still show up, but maybe it's a small circle in the upper or lower corner of your screen while the scriptures are being read, or while the song is being played. You want to show a circle of the main singer, whoever or whatever it may be. So today we're going to dive into how to do it. If you want to follow along, you need to have access to the internet. Obviously, you're watching this video, so you've already got that. But I would recommend going to some type of program like Canva or Photoshop or something along those lines. I'm going to be using Canva, and everything I think that I'm doing, I think you can do it in the free version of Canva, so you shouldn't have any problems there. But some type of photo slash creator program. So you can do this in PowerPoint. You can make something like this in Keynote if you want to, just something that allows you to manipulate images and then output them as a JPEG or PNG or whatever it is that we need. Okay. So first step is to go to your program of choice. I'm going to go to here. So we're going to go to this program. This is Canva. All right. So you can see that I'm just making sure I'm there. All right. So Canva's here. And basically what you need to do is have a big black screen that's going to be a 16:9. My recommendation is going to be the same as HD. So 1920 by 1080 would be your size. So if I go here to resize, um, in Canva, you can go to resize, and what you can do is select the option that just says custom size, and you can pick that and make it 1920 by 1080. This just has to do with the way that it's going to fit in your frame in OBS. So I'm going to do an option here to add a page. For you, it might be, you might be in PowerPoint. Add a PowerPoint slide or a Keynote slide, and that will be usually in that 16:9 aspect ratio by default. In Canva, you got to dictate that. And so my background is black, right? However you need to do that, make your background black. And then you need to go to wherever you can add your images. And I'm going to select an option for a circle. So I'm going to select this circle icon. It comes in on here as brown. And what we want to do is we want to select that circle and we want it to be a different color. So on Canva, I can go up here to the top. I want to make it white. And then my recommendation is to make it somewhat sizable and put it in the center of your image. So I'm gonna put it right there in the middle. You'll see the little markers. You'll probably have something like that show up on whatever program you're using as well. Now that you've got that, I'm gonna call this white circle mask. All right. Now keep saying mask. I'm not talking about Halloween or dress up or anything like that. That's a phrase that's used in even in not just in video, but in graphic design as well, where people mask things out and mask things off. So that's why I'm calling it a mask, and we'll see why in a second here. All right. So I lock that in, and then I just simply export. I'm going to go to share in Canva, and I can select the option that says download. And I'm going to pick the page I want, which is just my current page, which is the white circle mask. Now they both look pretty similar, but this is the one we just made. So you get to see me make it real time. And it could be PNG, it could be JPEG. It doesn't really matter as long as it's some type of image. I would recommend JPEG or PNG or something like that. So we'll do JPEG. Those files are usually going to be a little bit smaller, so that's beneficial in that way. And then we simply hit download. I've got my quality settings here. They won't matter because it's a simple black and white image. So I'm going to hit download. It'll download into my computer, and it should go into my downloads folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it into my pictures folder. And now I'm going to go into OBS. So now we're in OBS, and we'll do, that can look a little bit confusing, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. All right, let's see here. Actually, let's go back to this. So in OBS, you're going to have your setup. It may look a little bit different than this, but the cool thing is these little gray boxes, you can drag those wherever you want to. I can move my scenes here. It just doesn't make sense for me to have my scenes there. So I'm gonna put them back to the very beginning. And they just kind of autofill. So you just kind of move it to where it gets to where you want and then just let it go. Just click and drag. Now I've got my setup for my scenes as a grid. It just makes it simpler for me to find them because they all are showing up there instead of them being listed. But if you don't want that, let me see. If you right click in here, you can go to list mode and you'll see the list. This is probably what yours defaults to. It's just hard to get to everything. So I right click in mine and I go to grid mode. All right. Let me go back so you can see everything. All right. And so the grid mode is there. And the thing you have to do is we need to add a scene. All right. So what we need to do for our scene is we're going to go down here to the bottom left, hit the little plus sign, and we're going to call this one circle mask. We'll just call it that. We'll say okay. All right. So you can still hear me, even though you can't see me. Just follow along as to what you see there. And so what you'll do is you would right click on your circle mask, go to the option that says filters, and then I've got mine already there, but I'm going to delete that. I'm going to say yes. All right. So what you do is hit this little plus sign, and then you're going to get an option that says image mask / blend. You select that. You can just keep that title there. That doesn't matter. And just hit OK. All right. And now it says the type is going to be an alpha mask, which is what we want. And you can hit that drop down. You'll see all kinds of stuff. I've never used any of the other ones, but I'm going to say alpha mask and just keep it at color channel. And then you select the option to browse. And this is where you'll find, I got my white circle. I put it into my pictures folder and we just hit open. And this is a JPEG. And then we hit close. All right. Now that we've got that done, now we go to our sources. So in our circle mask scene, but each scene needs to have sources. So we're going to go to the plus sign here and we're going to add a video capture device. All right. This is like a capture card. And we're going to do, I'm going to my existing capture cards. If you used OBS before, you've already added video cameras, you would do the same thing to add existing. But if you've never used OBS to make or use video, then you'll create a new one. All right. I'm going to select my GH5 and I'll say okay. And now my GH5 shows up there. And let me just make it fill this scene like that. And I can drag it around. And that particular scene that we made over here, it's locked into where the only thing that's going to be visible is masking out everything that was black is being covered up. And then you can only see where it was white, which is this white circle that we're looking at right now. And so now we have our mask created. How do we get this to show up on some other stuff? All right. So let's say I was in my FreeShow primary. All right. FreeShow primary. This is your regular service going on. You can actually go in and we're going to hit the plus sign and we're going to add that scene. All right. So you get an option here to add a scene. We call our scene circle mask. It's going to scroll down to my existing scenes. I'm going to select circle mask, select OK. And there it is right over the top, but we don't want it blocking everything. So we can literally just drag, we can drag it down to make it small, to be how it would be in whatever location you want to, just move it around wherever you need it to be. And it can be there in the corner. It can be up here at the top. For me, I'll put it right here. And so now our output is going to look like this when we actually use our scene called FreeShow Primary. I've got the mask visible here. I can turn it off as well. So you can turn it off and on. I've got one here from the circle camera as well that was in that same space. But this is our circle mask that I just made. I had one called circle camera earlier. All right. But that's how you would make a little circle in your OBS live feed and layer it over the top of something from FreeShow, for example, or any other camera feed that you have. You can put two cameras on top of each other. So you can have another video feed here and a small video feed there. But the key is to make a scene and then right click on the scene so that you can adjust the filters. And in the filters, you will select image mask, and then you find your mask that you made the circle with. And that way you'll have a small circle that you, or a circle, it doesn't have to be small or large. It's a circle. You can make it as big or small as you want to as you resize it. So I'm going to close that since we've already got it. And now I can do something like this. Hopefully that helps. I look forward to the next time. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope it helped you in a major way. Now, at this point, most people would ask you to like and subscribe, and I think that's great, but my goal is a little bit different. My goal is to empower as many people as possible all over the globe. And there's one way that you can really help me do that, and that is to leave a comment below with a question, a thought, how this video may have helped you, or things that were left out that you still have questions about, and to share this video with someone just like you, someone who is looking for answers, someone who's curious and wants to grow. With your help, I believe we can build a community of people that want to grow together. So until next time, God bless.